get low.
Hello, I'm Nardo D&D. I do all sorts of homebrew D&D stuff, like converting old D&D stuff into modern D&D stuff, and today I have something for you guys. I'd like to keep going with the concept of prestige classes coming back to D&D 5.24. And what better way to keep prestige classes going than with one of the most dragon-based prestige classes, the Dragon Disciple. But before we get into it, look at this, and if you end up liking the video, I would really appreciate a like, and if you want to stay tuned to see what I make next, a subscribe is the exact way to do that for free, and the thing I think is the coolest above all other things is if you guys comment below so I get to read and see what you guys say, because comments are my favorite thing in the entire planet that we exist on. Have you ever thought planets were like what planes are, and like how extraplanar is just like space in D&D? That always like ran through my mind recently. Anyway, I respond to every comment that has ever been posted in any of my videos because that's just my favorite thing to do. I can't get up in the morning without seeing a comment. It just keeps me going. Anyway, what is a prestige class even? A prestige class is a class that cannot be started out as in character creation. The only way to become it is to meet specific requirements outlined by each individual prestige class and then multi-classing into it. As a rule, since prestige classes have more hoops to jump through, they are a bit stronger than normal classes. However, because you cannot start as them, they do not go up to level 20 like normal classes do. They only go up to level 5. Well, that's enough of an explanation. Let's get into the actual prestige class of today, the Dragon Disciple. These guys are either exposed to a massive amount of draconic energy or have some latent dragon magic inside them that awakens, triggering this multi-class. The prerequisites for a Dragon Disciple are as follows. You need a constitution score of 13 plus because Dragon Disciples require a strong body to undergo the demanding transformation ahead of them. You're going to need proficiency in Arcana, understanding of arcane and esoteric teachings allow the Dragon Disciple to initiate the transformation and maintain it. You're going to need to know the language Draconic. Knowledge of the tongue of the dragon establishes a link needed for the Dragon Disciples metamorphosis. You're going to need a character level of 5th, which is kind of standard when it comes to most prestige classes that I've been creating and kind of like goes with the one prestige class that already exists, the Rune Scribe. So it's just to maintain that level of power before you start going into prestige classes and you don't just like kick it off at level 2. You're also going to need to complete a special task. You must awaken and initiate your transformation from either a power within yourself or exposure to immense draconic magics. And that can mean whatever you want. You talk with your DM and you try to figure this out. You're like, oh, that dragon in the last session really broke a bunch of fire on me. Surely that's exposure to a lot of dragon magics. Or maybe you're in like the dragon temple that like worship dragons for thousands of years and you just hang out there for a year of downtime and maybe that triggers some kind of thing. Or maybe you accidentally ate the magic dragon rock that was used to open a magic dragon door in a dungeon that your adventuring party was exploring and that probably kicked it off, you know? Maybe any of those things. Moving on to the core traits, you get a hit die of a D12 as a Dragon Disciple. You only get 5 levels of it, so it's not too crazy. You don't get any weapon proficiencies, you don't get any more armor trainings than that, and that is all you get as a Dragon Disciple. Just a D12 as your hit die is all your core traits. You don't get any other extra benefits from that thing. And here's a quick sneaky peeky of what you have to look forward to in the Dragon Disciples feature table. Oh boy, look at all those things. What does bonus natural weapon damage mean? Oh, you're gonna get to see. Look at all these funny words like breath weapon and apotheosis. What could that mean? Oh, it's gonna be exciting. Let's go to the level 1 class features of the Dragon Disciple. At level 1, you gain a draconic source. You gain the sense of what kind of draconic influence is transforming your body. Make the choice from the table below. The choice influences other features in the Dragon Disciple prestige class. And you see the options below are the normal array of dragons ranging from black to white and brass to silver, because that's the order that you go in when it's the obvious order. And the damage types are the ones that you'd expect. However, there's a little undernote right here. If you zoom in right there real close, it says other varieties of draconic influences are possible using other dragon varieties as ancestors, like dragon turtle. As a little treat, talk with your DM, maybe work something out. Maybe the dragon turtle gets a cool like bubble breath attack or something, or like steam and it's like fire damage but it's water because it's like hot or something. You figure it out. Just come up with something. Maybe it's something goofy. Maybe it does force damage. Maybe you do psychic damage because they're like, oh, it's a purple dragon or something, you know, something ridiculous, whatever you like. Also at level 1, you gain Claws and Bite. The first signs of your transformation into being more draconic appear in your hands and teeth. Your hands turn claw-like and now inflict slashing damage with your unarmed attacks. Your teeth become sharp and grow, maybe leading to changes in speech until the rest of your body adjusts. In addition to being able to deliver slashing damage with your unarmed attacks, any attacks made with natural weapons you possess gain the elemental boon of your draconic embodiment equipment, dealing an amount of additional damage of a type that matches your draconic source. The amount of bonus damage is found in the class feature table, so it's kind of like a martial arts eye as it gets bigger as you keep leveling up in your Dragon Disciple Prestige class. In addition, your sharp teeth give you a new natural weapon in the form of a bite. You can make only if you successfully hit with an unarmed attack in the same turn. You may deliver this bite as a bonus action. It is considered an unarmed attack that delivers 1d10 piercing damage. So if you manage to land an unarmed attack, you'll be able to follow up with a bite move, and all of these unarmed or natural attacks will gain the benefit of the elemental boon, meaning they will deal a little bit of the elemental damage from your chosen draconic archetype. So it leans heavily into unarmed strikes. So like a fighter with the unarmed fighting style would go really well with this. A monk obviously would go very well with this. However, you're giving up your like bonus action flurry of blow things for the bite, so there's like a trade-off there. However, it's just a pretty nice, funny other way to do unarmed combat other than a monk, which would be pretty neat, and I think it's cool. Let's go to level 2. At level 2, you gain Dragon Scales. Your skin itself toughens and begins to grow scales that match the type of your draconic source. These scales provide a bonus to your protection while they are not covered in armor. While not wearing armor, the scales provide a +1 bonus to your armor class. In addition, the scales always provide you with resistance to the damage type that matches your draconic source. At 5th level of the Dragon Disciple Prestige class, the armor class bonus increases to +2 and the resistance becomes immunity. So I think that's pretty neat. You gain a little protection from your element, you gain a little AC bonus, which is pretty nice, and then it gets bigger as you become more dragon-like as you gain the 5th level, the final level of this prestige class. So I think that's all pretty reasonable and real. You only get the AC bonus if you're naked, because if the scales are covered in armor, they're not really doing much, are they? And I think it's like a nice pairing with like barbarian or monk in that sense, where it can give you a little bonus to your unarmored defense in that way. And if you're a fighter, you're already wearing plate mail, so you have an 18 AC. What do you need more for? You're already set, and you still get the resistance as a little benefit, so that's nice either way, because you get the resistance and the immunity even if you are wearing armor. That's just something you get in addition. Also at level 2, you gain Draconic Senses. Your senses of smell, taste, and hearing heighten, granting you a very fine-tuned insight into your surroundings. In addition, your sight sharpens and adjusts to lower light levels and even pitch darkness. You gain dark vision out to a range of 60 feet if you didn't already have it. If you're playing one of the very few races that don't get dark vision, oh boy, you get it from this. And this is actually pretty neat, this next part. In addition, you gain blind sight out to a range of 30 feet. The iconic sense that all dragons possess in D&D. You get to have a little bit of blind sight. You can like stand next to a door and be like, what's over there 30 feet? Someone puts the aura of darkness on you. The warlock casts their darkness move on you. The drow casts their darkness move on you. You're fine. You close your eyes. You listen for where everyone's stepping, and you can see, hear, and smell and taste where they are for 30 feet, you know? Not that much, but like a bit. And that's great. It doesn't give you the disadvantage for being blind, so that's very handy. And it's all perfectly dragon-like. And that's all you get for level 2, but I think it's pretty good. Moving on to level 3, you get the iconic Breath Weapon. Your transformation affects your inner being, not just exterior modifications. You are now able to exert a breath of the energy that matches your draconic source. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace one of your attacks with an exhalation of magical energy in a 15-foot cone. Each creature in that area must make a dexterity saving throw, which the difficulty class is 8 plus your constitution modifier plus your proficiency bonus. On a failed save, the creature takes 4d6 damage of the type determined by your draconic source, and on a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage. And you just do this as much as you want. You're just hucking this breath out. You got an infinite supply of juice in there. Just is one of your attacks, you're just like, boom, I'm gonna do a breath weapon for one of these attacks. If like the goblins are swarming, that's when you whip it out, when it's like lots of dudes. Surely single target, you'll be better off punching, maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe the thing has a crazy AC and you're like, oh, surely the constitution saving throw will be weak on this high AC enemy. That's really good for quicklings, actually, as a funny bit. Like, they have bad con, but like really high AC. It's a whole bit. Or wisps as well. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking it's a constitution saving throw. No, this is clearly the dexterity saving throw. This is great against heavy armored fat guys, so use it on an ogre. There you go. But an ogre wearing plate mail, surely. Forget what I said about the thing. I was on a tangent. I haven't had my I haven't had my orange juice today. I'm all wangled. I just shoveled like 80 pounds is not very much snow. I just shoveled 800 pounds of snow outside. It's a harsh winter up here. I'm dehydrated, I think. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Anyway, yeah, you get a breath weapon. Ain't that neat? All dragons get a breath weapon. Let's go to the next level. At level 4, you gain an ability score improvement, because that's cool. Why wouldn't you get an ability score improvement at level 4 of any class? And I don't think prestige classes would be an exception to that rule. I think it's neat. Ability score improvements are cool. I would take, if you're not a class that already has like punching as being good, I would take the ability score for getting the fighting style to get unarmed fighting as on this one. Like, that's what I would recommend personally, but you can pick whatever you want, because that's what ability score improvements are. They're for your character, and you know how to pick them good. That's the good stuff. All right, that's all for level 4. It's a quick one. Let's go to the last level. At level 5, the final level of the prestige class, you gain apotheosis. You become fully draconic in nature, sprouting dragon wings and a dragon-like tail. This transformation makes it apparent to anyone seeing you that you're affected by some kind of draconic transformation, or they might just think you're a dragonborn or a half dragon, or maybe they just think you're a dragon made small or something, like that you shrunk using magic of some kind. But you're definitely looking a little dragonic, you know? You gain the dragon creature type, so that's neat for certain things. Surely there'll be an effect that will come up with. You gain a fly speed equal to your speed, because you got the wings now. You flap them real good. You can go flying. That's handy. You gain a tail swipe attack that you can make whenever you make a bite attack. The tail swipe attack is considered an unarmed strike and deals 1d10 bludgeoning damage. So what that means is the bite attack that you can do as a bonus action, whenever you get that bite attack off, you can then follow up with a tail swipe. So whenever you're allowed to do the bite attack, you're allowed to also do the tail swipe in tandem, like together. Now you can do both of them as a treat. Now your bonus action is looking pretty good with a bite and a tail swipe. That's nice. That's just tons of wanging. Just wang that guy with your parts, with your dragon parts. That's what it's about. And that's it. That's the whole class. That's all I got for you guys today with that one. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. It's been awesome working on prestige classes. I think they're really neat and cool, and I'm excited to see people use them, and I'm excited to see my own table use them, because they're doing some stuff in there and doing some D&D-ing with those kinds of things. I'm showing them the prestige classes. They're a bunch of guinea pigs. They run the stuff so that it's balanced for you guys. Those buffoons, we got them scammed, those guys. Yeah, we really got them. And anyway, if you like the video, I'd love a like. If you want to see more of this stuff, I'd love a subscribe. The PDF for this prestige class is in the description, so you can browse at your own leisure and correct any spelling mistakes or make fun of me for any spelling mistakes in there. Let me know what you want to see next. And something that is new to the channel now that I'm gonna introduce with an anecdote from my youth as a small boy growing up in the rough streets of Newark, New Jersey. Often there would be people walking by as I wait for the number 13 bus on Broad and Market, and they would go, "Oh, let me hold $1." And I would say nothing. I would look away and pretend I didn't hear them. But now it's my turn, and I'm gonna ask you guys, can I hold $1? Because membership is now active and it costs $1. So if you want to let me just hold one of your dollars for a month, that'd be neat, I guess. But it's honestly just a waste of money. I'm gonna spend it on like machetes and I don't know, new blinds for my windows. So that's where the money's going. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I'm gonna buy dumb stuff with it, or food, you know, whichever I feel like in the current time. But that's where it's going. If you wanna let me hold $1, that's it. It's really a waste. Don't bother if you don't care. But I'd love to if you just like show up and watch a video and have a fun time with the D&D stuff. But YouTube said to make it happen, so I put the buttons in. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got for you today. Goodbye. Smoking cigarettes is bad.